Hey, what's going on, everybody? Movie Fan here. And yeah, I've got an awesome double feature for you guys tonight. We're going to start off with Saw 5 and move on to a movie that was requested by my good friend Steve O, The Voices. So let's just jump into this thing. We're going to start with Saw 5, 2008. If you kept up with the Saw series, you'll know that by part 5, Detective Hoffman is revealed to be the Jigsaw predecessor. He has masterminded his way, one step ahead of the police department and the FBI, and yeah, he's kind of the lone guy. However, Special Agent Strom is hot on his trail, and he's trying to track him down. When this movie came out, I've given up hope on the Saw franchise. Don't get me wrong, 1, 2, great. One was awesome. I think 2 is even better. Personally, did not care for 3 and 4. Now, since Maya's moved in, 3 and 4 are like her favorites, and she picked them up, and I've seen them, multiple times since, and they've grown on me a little bit, but they still haven't quite risen in the ranks of the franchise. But I remember watching 5, and really just watching. I want to say maybe I'll whenever the final chapter came out, which was that 2010, 2011. I want to say 2010. When the final chapter came out, I was like, well, shit, we're wrapping up the franchise. I just got 3 movies left. I already watched set through 4. Let me give it a shot. And I watched 5, and I was like, holy shit, it's a good movie. Like, where the fuck did that come from? The main thing I liked about this movie was the main game. Like, as you're kind of following Hoffman and Strom as they're playing their cat and mouse thing, trying to track each other down or whatever. There's a whole, plot going on there. The other plot that's going on is you got these 5 strangers who are somehow connected, and they have to play a series of games. And of course, in Saw fashion, there will be blood. And I won't give it away if you haven't seen it, because I really urge, if you're one of those people out there, even if you're a hardcore horror fan who are just like, fuck the Saws because they're all the same, this is one of those I would really urge you to go check out, because I think the final game is really the best part about this. It really ties it all together, and I just love, once you get to the final part of it, the revelation. I wouldn't say twist. It's definitely a revelation that you're just like, oh shit. Love that aspect of it. I thought that was just brilliant. And yes, and I love the ending of this one too. When Strom's finally kind of closing in on Detective Hoffman. I love that whole exchange. I love the game that, I won't give much away, but I love how, I love how it ends. I love how it ends. Let's just leave it there. So yeah, like I said, this one literally I don't know, it was great because you get to see Hoffman also, like, almost his origin story, if you will. Because part 4 kind of dealt with John Kramer and how he kind of got started. And this one you're seeing how Hoffman kind of came into the fold. So I thought that was kind of neat. And just how he's, fits into the whole game, if you will, or, the team and whatnot. So yeah, no, like I said, overall, big thumbs up on this. Like I said, it's definitely an improvement over part 3 and part 4. I definitely urge you to check it out. If you're a Saw fan, you've already seen it. There's no way you haven't. But for some reason, if you just haven't came across Saw 5, check it out. It's good shit. So yeah, Saw 5. Thumbs up. Alright, so moving right along now, we're going to go to a movie that just came out a couple years ago. I think it actually came out last year. The Voices with Ryan Reynolds. And this movie is about a young man who is mentally disturbed, and he hears voices. The voices he's hearing is his pet cat and his pet dog. Now this movie is definitely more of a dark comedy. However, I was really surprised. Like, I ain't saying I didn't, because I saw the trailer a while back ago. I was vaguely aware of what the movie was about. And I just remember thinking, like, it looks pretty good. Because I'm a Ryan Reynolds fan. I know there's certain groups that kind of, shit all over him or whatever. I like him. I think he's a good actor. Yes, there are times he just kind of plays the same role. Like, it's just Van Wilder and everything he does. And yes, there are certain movies he does that just fucking suck balls. However, when he does get a good role and he gets, does a good movie, it's a winning combination. Just when the right things kind of line up, and this is for example, that I truly will say I think this is, and I'm, maybe I'm just saying because it's fresh in my mind, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to argue. I think this is his best role to date, like acting wise, because it's a very, he's playing. Okay, he's playing a guy who's disturbed and he's hearing voices, and I don't want to give too much away. I'll tell you a little bit because it's in the trailer, but then I'll kind of cut it off right there. But what happens is there's a girl that he's pining for, and at this point you can already tell he's a little fucked up. Well, what happens is, due to this freak accident, he accidentally kills the girl, and of course, the cat's telling him to, you gotta get that body and you gotta fucking hide it, So he's hiding the body, shouting at whatever, but he keeps the head. Now, as fucked up as that sounds, it's not as twisted. Like when you say it out loud, it sounds like, oh, this is a twisted fucking... But it's really not, because Ryan Reynolds just portrays it in such an innocent way. He's almost like Norman Bates in a way. Like, even when you rewatch Psycho for the, 17th, 18th time, you already know he's the fucking dude in the dress who, he's been killing these, people who are staying at the motel. You know this already, and yet when you still watch it, you can kind of sympathize with him. You kind of feel sorry for him. And that's the the way you kind of feel about Ryan Reynolds in this movie. And of course he keeps the head, and of course the head's talking to him. And it's very upbeat, it's very happy. And that's the thing, when you see the world through Ryan Reynolds' eyes in this movie, it's a very happy place. The problem is he's not on his medication. That's the fucked up thing. At one point, he decides to go off go on the meds. And it kind of grounds him into reality. The voices are gone, but he's seeing everything for what it is, and I love that because you kind of see what he thinks he's seeing, and then of course you see what's really happening, and I love that. I love that aspect of it. This movie, it's funny, very dark, a little bizarre, and if I dare say, it's kind of sweet and sad at the same time. Like whenever he's kind of, he gets himself a girlfriend at one point, played by Anna Kendricks, the chick from the fucking dancing movie, there's acapella movies, Pitch Perfect, which she's in this one, and you're rooting for him. You're like, he's gonna have a shot at a normal life. And like I said, it is a very sweet movie, but once again, it goes into dark territory quite often. And like I said, he's a very sympathetic lead. Every time he does something that, even if it is fucked up, you never quite turn your back on him. Like, even when you know what he's doing is wrong, you're still on his side, amazingly. Like, you're still kind of like, it's a very weird, fine line. Like, you don't want to see him do what he's doing, but at the same time, you're like, no, I'm still with him. I'm still hanging with him. I hope he's, somehow we get some kind of an ending that, will, and it does have an ending where it is it's like the happiest ending you can possibly ask for, I guess. If that makes sense. If that makes sense if you haven't seen it. But if you had, you're like, yeah, it's about as good as it's going to get, I bet. Yeah, love this movie. It was actually a big surprise because, my boy Steve, I love him to death. He's one of my good friends. He has never been a horror guy. Like, he just, he's not. It's not his genre. So whenever he was kind of suggesting this movie to me, I was like, well, shit, I wanted to see it. I like Ryan Reynolds, but this may be one of those Ryan Reynolds fucking sucking movies. Like, it's just going to be horrible. And so whenever I watched it, I was like, holy shit, like, this is brilliant. Ryan Reynolds knocks it out of the park in this. He really does. It's fucking great. Love the story. It's very... It's original. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's kind of a story you've seen, but it's through the eyes of somebody who's mentally disturbed, and I like that. It does kind of, and I like that. Like, I've never been the kind of guy, and I'm not saying this will ever, this doesn't excuse what he does. And that goes for movies or even real life when people do this shit, but you see what kind of, what in his childhood causes him to do this. And you do kind of go, wow, man, that's fucked up. Like, that sucks. Like, he really was kind of gave a shit hand. Yeah. And like I said, he's a very sympathetic character in this movie. And it's hilarious. Like I said, that's another thing. Like, it's a very dark comedy, but it doesn't lose its comedy, this comical aspect either. Like, it remains funny throughout. Which, like I said, there's a lot of different emotions it's playing on, and it's all working. Like, it's all good. So, I highly recommend The Voices if you have not seen it. I know it's on Hulu Plus right now. Unfortunately, we don't have Hulu Plus. We had to old school rent this bitch, but yeah, you got Hulu Plus. Check it out. And of course, if you come across it some night, definitely worth a watch. So, Saw 5, fucking awesome. The voices, fucking awesome. Like, literally, just hit you with an awesome double feature. Check it out. That's all I got. Guys, I'm heading out. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you here Monday.